I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. How's it going? How you doing out there? Making sure you're actually hearing me. Where's that microphone at? I had a little trouble with the microphone. There we go. Looks like we're good. Give me a thumbs up if you've got it, folks. And I'm a little perplexed here right now. I just thought I posted a video, and it does not seem to be there. I'm a little confused. I'm going to double check on that. I posted the video, and it's not there. That's bizarre. All right, I'll have to try to post it again. Really strange. Not seen anything like that before. Maybe it never uploaded. Anyway, let me just double check it's not there. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was going to say, what the heck? That threw me for a loop there. I had a video I posted and I didn't see it there. So, all right. It's one that's probably going to get me a little bit of trouble because I'm criticizing Springbok fans and behavior of South African rugby. Yeah, the haka. Thank you, Garrett. That's the one. I was like, where the hell did it go? It wasn't there. I couldn't find it. But the video is, in fact, there. So if folks could share that on social media, I'd appreciate that because I'm a little busy here trying to do the news. Anyway, so thanks for being with me, folks. Yeah, lots to talk about. As always, we always got tons to talk about here on the program. Welcome back. It's Monday. It's Labor Day here in America, the day that the commies and socialists celebrate on May 1st, May Day. We don't celebrate it then. We celebrate it now. So anyway, I can't get my carpet to play nice with me here. Sorry. I'm not trying to give you an earthquake here. The sound is good. Okay, let me say hello. Arc Precision. Weird how I don't always get notifications from, well, it's not weird at all. It's intentional. It's intentional. It's what they do to silence content creators. I watch people that have no idea what they're talking about, like Tim Pool, have millions of people following him. And another guy, I see, Salty Cracker. He's even sold out. Wow. Salty Cracker, I watched him yesterday, 5,700 people watching live. And, it seemed like half the time he was shilling for products. He was pushing crypto. He was pushing some kind of vitamin supplement. He was pushing ivermectin. I mean, yeah, he's all commercial and gone. He's sold out. He was supposed to be one of those genuine guys, and he's sold out making money from advertising. So here you see what it's all about. What it's all about. Not about being different and making a difference in the world. It's all about selling out and making money. That's right, buddy. My little buddy there. That's my Swiss yodeler there. Welcome. Anyway, so Arc Precision, Teresa Ants, John Jarvis says hello to everybody. Pablo Charlie, welcome back. Sedgefield, Clive Streak, Charles Van Onselen, the voice of reason. Sedgefield, I've said already. It's me again. Malcolm Clote is here. How's the boat? Charles Van Onselen, I said Charles. Alan, Marty van Bellen, welcome, Marty. And Pierre Orban, Hakan Engman in from the Netherlands. Newlands, Bucks 38, 27 victories predicting. Okay. All right. I just want a victory. Want them to run undefeated the rest of the way. Okay. And you found the Hawkeye. Hey, Janet Liddy, how's it going? There's Paulie, the brains behind the operation. Very quiet behind the operations, off camera, making sure everything flows, keeping the salt flowing. Dylan is here. Charles McMeekin, welcome to you. Hester, Sean Gunther, and I think that's everybody. No lederhosen. No, I don't have any lederhosen. I never did buy any lederhosen. They're very expensive. I could never afford a pair of lederhosen. I mean, for a pair of those, we're talking like $600 or $700, and that was just a bit out of my price range to buy a pair of shorts that I'm never going to wear. If I lived in Bavaria, I'd have lederhosen for sure. No doubt about it. Yeah, so anyway, good to see that one actually got posted. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. Somebody's excited they got finally monetized. That's nice. I guess they must have waited a long time to monetize. Anyway, that's got to be frustrating for people. Come here. Oh, the screen is going the wrong way. By the way, my friend has a friend. I have two of these little things. So. Sorry, they're kitsch, but I couldn't resist when I bought those things a couple years ago. At some point you realize, hey, I may have spent a big chunk of my life here, but I may never be coming back or seeing it again. I didn't really, when I was young in Germany, I bought a lot of touristy things, not a lot, but I bought, I focused on things like I showed you, the Stock, the cane with the Wappen, the shields on it. And then I used to get postcards, I used to collect postcards, tons of them, and also a few other things. So I got little boxes of, those memories from Mentos, and I cherished them. But that was initially, but then I came back to Germany, and then I came back to Germany again, and it's just, I didn't collect those things, and I didn't get the big things. Like I have a nice mantel, a coat, a lovely winter coat. Don't even know if it still fits, but I got that, a Loden, which is a big brand in Germany, but I don't have many things that are German as such. So I scrambled last night to find some things that were German. Got a little bear hanging up back there. Anyway, but it wasn't so easy. Anyway, watch your podcast in German elections. I was really expecting Lederhosen. It's not Schmutzbier, it's Schutzbier. Schmutzbier. Shame on you. It's not Schmutzbier. I enjoyed that beer, by the way, last night. And Hendo didn't say anything about my Schutzbier, and Arctic wasn't there, so I didn't get grilled for having the Schutzbier last night. That was pretty funny. I was expecting to get flamed for that. I'm going to get flamed for that Springbok video. I guarantee that. In fact, let me send that to somebody real quick who will probably flame me for it. So let's see. Oh, he won't flame me. He's a nice guy, but I think we'll see what he says. So anyway, sorry about that. It's got Coca-Cola. It's not I don't know if it's a Rhodesian thing. It's a German thing. Okay. So Hendo did see it. He gave me a pass. Anyway, yeah, so that was last night. So I just did 2 videos today. One, again, on the continuing Ramon Kabanak saga. And somebody commented, this is getting old. It is getting old, but they continue to run the stories. And so it must be discussed. I think that Byron Shepard's probably going to stop doing it as well, and that's fine. But, the story's out there. It needs to be covered, so I'm covering it, just like I'm covering other stories. Today we're going to talk about Grahamstown, the water problem. One of my viewers sent me an email asking me to look into the Grahamstown story, Machana, and so I did, and it's appalling. It's absolutely appalling. I've taken some notes, 7 pages of notes here. Where you at? Come here. Got 7 pages of notes from my research on this topic, which I'm going to produce a video on, which, maybe 1,000 people might watch. But you know what? It's not really, I do care, but I almost say I don't care. I do care. But look, the topic has to be covered. And I haven't forgotten my forgotten history. I've got 4 pages of notes for my first video over there. So just hang in there, folks. I cover all things. Everything's possible. So I 7 pages of notes, and I'll go through. And that's actually in 11 fonts, so it's more like 8 or 10 pages. How about Khaleesi? He's got a broken jawbone. Yeah, I thought it was a cheekbone, but I didn't see an update. Try beer and tomato juice. Oh, God, that sounds horrible. Why is Botswana always high in the world's least happy countries list, Colonel? Well, because 36% of the population lives below the poverty line. The minimum existence of $2.70 or whatever it is per day that's established now by the United Nations. 36% of Botswana live below the poverty line. We also have rampant alcoholism, HIV, health issues, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and all of that plays a role in why Botswana are unhappy. You would think they'd be a happy country. They have their own country. It's largely homogenous, and that's not entirely true. They actually have a larger percentage of the population that's white than South Africa does. Probably about 8 or 9% of Botswana is actually white, owing to its tourism sector, its professionals who work in government and industry and the mining sector. All of that brings and keeps a lot of white Botswana there. In fact, if you saw the game on Saturday, I'll see if I can find that. I did catch a screen capture of the Springboks game on Saturday, in which some Botswana were at the game. And there it is right there. They were waving their flag. That was pretty cool. Not the first time that's happened, but when I was at the Rugby World Cup in Birmingham, the game that Jean de Villiers broke his jaw against Samoa, there were Botswana there. I actually went up and met the folks. And so these guys look to be white Botswana. Yeah, they are white Botswana. And they've got the Botswana flag. They broke it out during the game. That's always cool. I love to see that. There you go. Check it out. There it is. Also at the World Cup in 2015, it ran into government officials who flew their Botswana flags in Wales and elsewhere. It was pretty cool. Well, Turkey can join BRICS, but BRICS is fictional. So all these people can continue to delude themselves by joining a fictional, non-existent organization. That's fine. I don't really give two flying flips. BRICS is a joke. First off, before the accession of Saudi Arabia, an oppressive monarchy, and the accession of Argentina, a perpetual basket case state in the past year, the BRICS is nothing more than an acronym. There is no treaty. There is no constitution. There are no tariff removals. There's no mutual defense pact. There's nothing to BRICS. It does not exist. It's simply an acronym of like-minded totalitarian states that get together. Yes, that includes South Africa, totalitarian states, Iran. Yeah, BRICS is a joke. 85% of the gross domestic product of BRICS prior to last year's summit, which I attended in Santon, 85% of the GDP came from the People's Republic of China, a communist state. Russia's a member, a totalitarian state. Brazil is a member, a totalitarian state. South Africa's a member, a totalitarian state. Ooh, that's going to get a lot of pushback. It is a totalitarian state. It's a facade of democracy in South Africa, a veneer of democracy. People think they're living in a democracy in a country where the ANC simply ignores public opinion, even though they're required by law to include public opinion and address it. They simply get hundreds of thousands of complaints about the lockdown. And they just look the other way. Hundreds of thousands of people register complaints about the ban on smoking and cigarettes during the lockdown. No scientific evidence to prove that it has anything to do with the Rona. And they still ban the sale of cigarettes so that the Zuma family can get wealthy off of illicit cigarette trade coming in from Zimbabwe. It's all a facade. It's a veneer, folks. All of the members of BRICS are fascist totalitarian states. They are. Or they're wannabe fascist totalitarian states. And it's not a threat to anybody except themselves. Do you honestly think that the Chinese are going to take Tanzanian shillings in exchange for their goods and services? No, they want dollars or euros. Bloomberg reports to Turkey. So there's my thought of that, Pablo Charlie. Not even a card for Sam Cain when he broke his jaw. Yeah, exactly. Well, what about Cheslin Colby? Again, he was in front of the post 5-7 meters out, and they tackle him like this. Not even a penalty. And they didn't even go back and look at it. No, it's horrible. The officiating, Andrew Brace was terrible in this game. It's terrible. And he's terrible for the All Blacks, too. But the All Blacks could have been caught on infringements all the time at the breakdown. They were doing so many things. Jonathan DT says, what is Judeo-Christianity? There's no such thing as Judeo-Christianity. There is Judeo-Christian values. This country was founded on Judeo-Christian values, coming from Judaism and Christianity. Common values of mutual respect, respect for life, liberty, freedom, things like that. That's what Judeo-Christian beliefs are. BRICS is useless as much as the AU. It's even worse than the AU, James, because they mislead the whole world. We have an alternate currency, the dollar. We're a global trading bloc. There's no trading bloc. Please, somebody tell me what tariffs have been removed on goods from South Africa to China and vice versa. What trade advantages do you get because of BRICS? Somebody want to tell me that? Can somebody tell me that? I'm just curious. You can't, because it doesn't exist. It's just a joke. Why are we scared of China when Europe has almost the same size economy with an even higher per capita? I'm not scared of China, Pablo Charlie. I've never been scared of China. It's a fascist, communist, totalitarian state that is a dangerous player in the Pacific Rim, and they threaten their neighbors militarily, diplomatically, and economically. But that doesn't scare me. What scares me is Joe Biden or Kamala Harris's finger on the button when China is pushing for conflict in the South China Sea and the East China Sea. They're out of control, and it's a state that needs to be reeled back. But I'm not afraid of China. I know what China is. They harvest human organs from Falun Gong. They harvest organs from Uyghurs. They rape inmates. They imprison people who've committed no crimes because they're Muslims. Yet the Muslim world is silent. The people protesting and running in the streets and burning American flags at Union Station in D.C. are saying nothing about the Muslims in Myanmar who are being oppressed, the Rohingya, the Muslims in China, the Uyghurs who are being oppressed, or the Turkey people. Not a damn thing, because they don't give two flying shakes of a tail of a donkey's ass. They don't care. They don't care. They're frauds, just like the ANC. Cyril Ramaphosa gets up a couple days ago on Thursday. Yes, and we are playing a key role in the negotiations for Sudan. We've talked to the party. Bullshit. That's some bullshit. They don't give two flying shakes of a tails of a donkey's ass about Sudan or about Mali or Niger or about any black people. They don't care about black people. That's a lie. It's a lie. Their actions speak otherwise. People in Grahamstown have had this water problem for 7 years now. They have no freaking water. You can't shave, you can't bow, you can't shower, you can't bathe. There's no safe drinking water. There's sewage pouring in the streets, and they blame it on the apartheid system. 30 years of recklessness. I submit to you that any municipality that has not upgraded or modernized their public sanitation and their water systems in the last 30 years is an illegitimate municipality with an illegitimate council, with an illegitimate government. These are things that break down. You must repair and replace as you go along. You don't simply take something you inherited and let it fall apart, which is what all of Africa has done for the past century. Colonialism. I'm sorry. What have you done to fix it? Not a damn thing. Oh, give us money. Oh, give us money. And we buy jewelry and we go on trips and we do this and we do that and we squander it because they're a bunch of thieves. And then, well, oh, you must forgive our debt. Forgive our debt. You must be racist. You won't forgive our debt. Forgive our debt. You must be racist. And what do? Stupid morons in the West. Well, you know what? We better forgive the debt because otherwise they call us a racist. Who wants to be called a racist? Listen, moron, loaning money to someone and expecting them to repay it with interest is not racism. It's business. Loading the money, people, and kowtowing because you're cowardice over being called a racist drives up the cost of capital for everyone that you fucked over by giving that money free to Ghana, to Kenya, to Mozambique. Light Rain says, Tim Waltz has been to China 30 times, worked as a teacher, brainwasher, propagandist, loves China. I'm scared of that. Well, I thought you said Tim Pool. I had to reread that. How is it going with the Minister of Agriculture? I don't know. How is it going? I think they probably should be focused on the Black Frost right now and on also distribution. Also, they need to be focused on working with the DIRCO to get this illegitimate tariffs that Botswana's put in place against South African produce because it's crippling Botswana, who have to pay 2 and 3 times the price for goods and services that should be cheaper, only they're driven higher because of the idiotic, moronic approach. Why is it that some African leaders are so hell-bent on impoverishing black Africans? Well, you must be a farmer, subsistence farmer, Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa. We're going to put 1 million black South Africans on farms. Really? So they can grow, a couple kilos, a couple kgs of frickin', potatoes? Instead of having a farm where 200 people work that produces tons of potatoes. Morons of the highest order. Gary Green says, on the money. All right, true that. Happy Labor Day. That's they celebrate organized labor and collective bargaining. It doesn't celebrate collective bargaining. That's not what Labor Day is about. It's celebrating labor. That's a stretch. Like your Springbok swag, but I don't see a Protea emblem anywhere. Well, there's a Protea emblem right there. Right there. Wakanda states must left Putin. What's his 10 years? The Russians will never leave. They own their country. Well, the Russians have come and gone before in the form of the Soviets under the guise of the Soviet Union. They were in Angola. They were in Mozambique. They were in Zambia. They've come before. They were in West Africa, and they've come and gone. They'll come and go again. The only ones who stay forever and colonize Africa are the Chinese. Yeah, they're there forever. They've never left. They've been there since the 1960s. There's just their presence become much more exaggerated since 2000 when they joined the World Trade Organization and violated its rules and grew exponentially. So they will never leave. But there you have it. Putin can liberate Zimbabwe from Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa. I doubt that. Yeah, Emerson Mnangagwa. Yeah, so the Russians will come, the Russians will go. The Brazilians will never come, they'll never go because they're not there. The Cubans came, the Cubans went. And now the only reason the Cubans come to Africa is because the ANC uses your taxpayer dollars to fly them over to be so-called experts sitting in hotels doing jack squat. They also went to Guinea during the Ebola crisis, and they were hailed by the World Health Organization as having a big impact. And I can tell you for a fact, they didn't do jack squat. They were useless and accomplished nothing. They were just slightly worse than the U.S. military there. We like to take credit for having had a big impact Obama spent $1 billion in Liberia. Pissed it down the drain. The reason Ebola was checked, the Ebola virus in West Africa, in Liberia in particular, wasn't because of the U.S. Army. It wasn't because of our actions and the $1 billion that Obama pissed down the drain in Liberia. It was overwhelmingly due to the actions of young Liberians who took it upon themselves, in the absence of qualified medical personnel, to use reason and common sense and judgment to isolate people, to change burial practices, to spread sanitation, and that is what turned the tide against Ebola. Not the U.S. Army, not the thousands of ambulances we shipped there, not the $1 billion we pissed down the drain. There's the truth. FOCAC. I've already talked about FOCAC, Pablo Charlie. You want me to talk about it now? It's this week, isn't it? Some people say Lord of the Rings is racist because the far right in Italy venerates his... Well, Lord of the Rings is anything but racist because now it's been taken over by the woke crowd. You see the latest version of it? White men are almost non-existent in it, but the entire thing is about white men and a couple women. And it's all just, it's so woke. So I don't see how they consider it to be racist. That's just comical. They go to great lengths to film it in New Zealand and put it full of Maori or, anyway, whatever. Gabriel says, don't worry, Chris, the tide is turning. You read how the AFD had a big win Saxon. The Europeans are slowly. Well, Gabriel, you obviously missed my broadcast last night. I did a broadcast on this last night. That's correct. Yep. People should go back and see my broadcast after the fact. It would be really nice. I'm just saying. So, here we go. All right. Here it is from last night. Political elites smackdown in German elections. The AFD leaps ahead in Thüringen. Only 500 views.
Ich bin der Oberst Chris Wyatt und ich wünsche euch einen schönen Abend. Irgendwo, irgendwann, irgendwie. Tja, also heute Abend sprechen wir über das Thema die deutsche Wahl im Osten in die ehemaligen DDR, wo in Thüringen die Alternative...
My German sounds bad. And I shouldn't say sprechen, I should have said reden. Heute Abend reden wir über dieses Thema. Ja, das hört überhaupt nicht wie ein Deutscher. Das ist ja traurig. Also normalerweise, das klingt wie ein Deutscher. Manche denken, dass ich komme aus der Umgebung von Frankfurt. Und ja, es ist schon lange Zeit, dass ich Deutsch täglich gesprochen habe. Yep. Anyway, there you go. So that was last night, 501 views. Nobody seems to care about the German elections, at least none of my viewers. I had a few people there, but thank you for those who showed up. Yep, Gabriel, I covered that last night, man. Covered it as the story broke, and I talked about it. In Turin, the Alternative für Deutschland, the AfD, won convincingly. They are over 10 points higher than the CDU, a corrupt party that has been infiltrated by New World Order stooges, leftist hate wankers, and anti-white Germans. If you can believe such a thing, they exist, and they're in those political parties. The Christian Democratic Union is anything but Christian, and it's certainly not democratic. It's a bought and paid for New World Order stooge party, along with, of course, the SPD, the Greens, the left, Die Linke, all of them. They're all scumbags. The Alternative for Deutschland is a threat to them, and they term them as right-wing fascist Nazis. They illegally evade the Constitution, declaring them a terrorist-sponsoring organization. Therefore, they can listen in their conversations and wiretap them without warrants. It is unbelievable what is happening in fascist Germany today. And it's being done by the fascists who actually claim these people are the fascists. Isn't that ironic? They claim the people that are their targets are the fascists when they're the fascists. That said, the Alternative for Deutschland has done some dumb things and said some stupid things and does have clearly some racists in their midst. Yeah, and they clearly have some racists in their midst. But that said, they're not a threat to democracy. They're actually participating in the democratic process. And they scored a big win. The problem is that they don't have enough to form a government. And the corrupt Christian Democratic Union, which if it went in Thüringen and in Sachsen with the AfD, would form a government that was a majority, everything hands down. There'll be no problem. They'd be over 50% in both areas. So, but they hit it spot on, winning in Thüringen. And I put a picture of the Wartburg Castle on my thumbnail. I've been there. I went there when it was still part of East Germany. Yep. Heike. Wow, it's been a long time. Long time. What's going on? What's up in Michigan? Upper Peninsula. What a lovely place, man. That is gorgeous up there. It's like Canada South, except it's nicer than the Canadians. Do you think Putin will be in Mongolia as required? I don't know what you're saying, Myra. Do I think that Mongolia will arrest him? No, there's no way. Mongolia is a client state of Russia. Criticism runs off Ramaphosa's back like duck's water. Exactly. Crabtoe says, listening to an American speak German makes me imagine an alternate history. ja, also ich glaube, dass sie meinen, hätten wir nur also die Deutschen gewonnen im Zweiten Weltkrieg, dann werden wir alle heute Deutsch sprechen, oder? Wir könnten am Anfang Deutsch wählen statt Englisch in 1787. Yeah. Why do I think anti-white Germans all wear little hats and barely pass as white? Well, some of them are clearly white, but look at the makeup of the lunatic leftist party. That's the Sarah, what the hell is her name? Wagenknecht party. That alliance got 15% of the vote in both of those Länder in the eastern part of what is today Germany. Not Eastern Germany, but the eastern part of what is today Germany. They got 15%, these leftist hate wankers. And you look at their party. Ali, Mohammed, Sabir, Nemec. They're all Slavs and people from the Middle East and Iranians and Arabs and Afghans. They're not German. And they're in office. They're in political office, holding office in Germany. This is crazy. Clive listened to RSG last night, and Christoph on Reda. They all go for Jose. What is RSG? I'll have to listen. What is RSG? I don't know what RSG is. Waterfalls, cliffs, beaches, forest, and patriotism. Hey, well, I'm loving that last one. You can keep your beaches. I like the cliffs. Waterfalls are okay. Makes you go pee. And the forest. Oh, yeah. Love the forest. Love the forest. James says, my wife just made chicken liver pate. Well, that's not my cup of tea. That is not my cup of tea. All right, so 92 people currently here and just 50 likes. That's just really not fair, folks. Let's get with it. Make it happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in South Africa, the justice minister is under fire for a loan while all the criminals are getting no attention. They're looking at her. They haven't made an argument that her loan was illicit. They're just implying. Justice Minister Thembi Simelane to be hauled before ANC Integrity Commission over the loan. Justice Minister Thembi Simelane will be hauled before the ANC's Integrity Commission to explain a commercial loan that she received from a company that brokered a deal between Polokwane municipality when she was mayor and the now defunct VBS Mutual Bank. Now, there may be something there. She may have done something inappropriate, used her influence, but why isn't Ace Magashule and Paul Mashatile and Cyril Ramaphosa all being hauled before the Integrity Commission of the ANC? I mean, they have real crimes that they're accused of. Wow. Clinton Swart made the dumbest decision to go for the polls in the province game when they were 5 points ahead. A static province then denied them a bonus point. I don't agree with that. I mean, when they were ahead. Oh, I thought you were talking about the end. Yeah, okay. Well, I can't remember that moment back in the game. Maybe you're right, but that is definitely off topic. Well, Grahamstown water woes, they're continuing, folks. Rhodes University resumes lectures after a week-long outage of water. This is insane. Lectures at Rhodes are set to resume today after they were temporarily suspended on Friday following a week-long water outage. Water supply is restored on Friday, but not at full capacity. University staff and students marched to the municipality offices after the entire town was hit by water outage following a strike by municipal workers who complained about non-payment of overtime. How can they pay them overtime? The ANC has stolen hundreds of millions of rand that were meant for the rebuilding and renovation of these two water plants, and it's just gone. Well, the independent line stokes the fires, keeps it going, the faux controversy over Ronaldo Ghoz and Roman Kabanak, this time focusing almost exclusively on Roman Kabanak and John Steenhuisen. This is an op-ed by a person in the independent line, and Tracy Lomax Nixon is the author. John Steenhuisen and Podbro Roman Kabanak have a hard row to hoe. All right, so you don't have to like Roman Kabanak. You don't have to think he's a nice guy. He's cheeky. He's a smart ass. He's a shit stirrer. He likes to be controversial, and that's just who he is. But to publish an op-ed in which you call him a pod bro is just disingenuous, and it's a lie. Roman Kabanak has done things in the field of journalism that the so-called journalists in South Africa don't bother to do. For instance, no journalist had been interviewing Gate McKenzie. He interviewed Gate McKenzie. Went and met him, sat down with him, and did an interview. is the first one out of the floodgates. And of course, Mackenzie was foolish enough to go talk to Mpofu Walsh. That guy's an ass. I mean, his nonsense on Ronaldo's broadcast before Ronaldo stopped broadcasting. When I was in there, and he's going, is Wyatt going to address this? Wyatt going to address this? I'm like, dude, I talked about it. Go watch my channel. What, do you want to interview me? You want to kiss? You want to hug? But Mackenzie went on his program. But before that, he was on a Ramon, and that's what opened up the interviews. No one was doing them before that. So he went there. He went and interviewed the Russian ambassador about the Ukraine invasion in Pretoria. No one else was doing that. Now, I've interviewed the Ukrainian ambassador a couple of times in person and over the air when the invasion took place and shortly after that, my trip there. But no one was interviewing the Russian, and I didn't want to interview the Russian ambassador. I wasn't really interested in it. He did that, so no journalists were doing that. He went to Orania. Now, a lot of people go to Orania, but he went there and was objective about it. Few people are objective about it. Even those who think they're objective about it are not objective about it. I mean, I watched this video the other day. It was pretty well professionally done by these two young guys who just travel around. They think they're special. And they got a lot of it right, and they were fair, but they opened up by saying that it's a town exclusively for whites. And that's a lie. And they're so sick of people lying about that. All right, what is the matter anyway? There's towns that are exclusively for blacks, and whites aren't welcome there. Go to East London. You're not welcome there if you're English. It's England. Don't wave a UK flag. You'll go to prison. My goodness. But Tracy Lomax Nixon writes this piece, and she actually asked some genuine questions. So that's why I'm talking about it. She asked genuine questions. Arsteinheisen and Kabanek actually qualified to do what they're doing. But the Podbro nonsense is just nonsense. I mean, he's actually done real journalism. And he's not a pod bro. It's a professionally produced site. The fact that it's on YouTube doesn't diminish the quality of it. YouTube has some of the best news reporting on the planet, the most honest, objective, and independent news you're going to find on the planet. Also got garbage. I mean, we can find plenty of garbage picked about South Africa. I mean, look at Citizen Concern. She's doing some amazing work on her analysis and commentary. Very objective on most things, not everything. She's got blinders on a few things. We all have blinders, but I mean, that's some really great stuff that's come up that wasn't there before in that space. So yeah. So for Tracy Lomax Nixon to call him a pod bro when he's a lawyer, and so she, they're both lawyers. I mean, that's just disrespectful. Anyway, so whatever. Without my stepmom, P has been without power for 9 days. Good God, Emil. Well, see, Ronaldo leaves and it all goes to crap. Yeah, you can't hold a British flag in England or you go to jail for 2 years and 2 months as an 18-year-old getting raped anally, no doubt. So she says the appointment of a Roman Kabanek, podcaster and member of the Purple Cow Party. Not a podcaster. First off, this is not a podcast. See, this shows the ignorance of these people. This is not a podcast. This is a vlog. It's a video log, not a podcast. A podcast is a audio file that goes onto a podcast player, an MP3 player. That is a podcast. That is where the vernacular came from. We in the tech field came up with that term to describe an audio file before video files could be done because the data wasn't there. You couldn't pass data. This is a vlog, a video log. That's what this is. Not. So you want to call him a vlogger? Call him a vlogger. But he's not a podcaster. He used to do a podcast. Renegade Reports was a podcast. And a member of the Purple Cow Party. He's not a member of the Purple Cow Party. It doesn't exist anymore. So that's factually wrong. So he is a journalist and an attorney and a businessman. Now, you may not believe in his qualifications or support them. That's fine, but get the facts straight. I mean, I went back this morning. I was looking over at Biz News, wherein I spoke last month, and I was asked a question about why the South African National Defense Force is in the DRC. And I answered that. They asked the question. I mean, it wasn't my plan. They asked me to come on. I went on. Chris Sten interviewed me, and I talked about it. And what do you see in the comments by racist below there? Oh, it's mercenary. It's American. What do Americans know about Africa? Well, I know a shitload more about Africa than you do, you bigoted racist piece of shit. Yep. And they don't offer anything. He's lying about the DRC. I'm from the DRC. He's lying about the DRC. Well, how am I lying? I'm not lying. You're just a shithead. You're just a shithead, a pile of crap. And then calling me a mercenary. A mercenary? Are you freaking high? What am I mercenarying against? Pennsylvanians? I live in Pennsylvania. I live here. A mercenary. I mean, it's not like I was in the Congo here on the ground, live in the Congo. Let's go to the Congo. Here we go. So I'm here in Kivu, and what the hell? These people, it's like the morons that say, oh, he's a CIA agent. Really? The CIA puts people on social media and lets everybody see who they are. What a bunch of morons. There's some really stupid bigots and racists out there, man. Unbelievable. Anyway, so She says the chief of staff, Kabinet's role will be that strategic advisor. He will have to formulate strategies, set priorities, then ensure the vision of the minister is implemented. No, that's actually not how it works there, sweetheart. Not how it works. The chief of staff runs the staff. The chief of staff is the person that all the staff who formulate the strategies must come to. They're the one that is he's the gatekeeper for the boss. That's what the chief of staff does. Just like an executive officer in a military unit. The XO is the person responsible for managing the staff. All the intelligence, the logistics, the operations, all of that. And the chief of staff in a business corporation runs the staff. They coordinate staff activities. They give direction. They write the evaluations for the staff. They hire and fire people. That's what a chief of staff does. They don't, by and large, sit around and formulate policies. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about. It's comical. She does raise some good questions, though. She says a whole bunch of topic areas and, things, but she also gets some of this stuff wrong, too. She says something that requires long and short-term plan to overcome soil degradation. Does Cabinet even know what causes it? Well, do you know what causes soil degradation? Overuse, misuse, poor crop rotation, poor irrigation? Or are you an agronomist? But she can ask that question. Anyway, so it's just silly. Just silly. Well, now Action SA is on the case, folks. Okay, look, I gave a fair assessment of Action SA the other day based on the Schwane effort to oust Mayor Cilliers-Brink. I gave them kind of a free pass because they did share information with me, but this is just stupid. So we have shit running through the streets of Grahamstown. We have no freaking water in Grahamstown for 5 years and hundreds of thousands of people living around there. We have crime out of control in the Cape Flats and in Cape Town. We have gangsters running the taxi syndicates across the country and assassinations. We have whistleblowers who just do their job morally, honestly, and correctly and report irregularities and get assassinated, then nobody pursues their case. We have police officers assassinated whose reputation is then tarred and smeared by the criminals in the police force who had him assassinated, Charles. We have all kinds of nonsense, hungry South Africans, racial discord being stoked by politicians like Julius Malema, Floyd Shivambu, and Jacob Zuma. We have real problems in South Africa. But Action SA is demanding that Home Affairs explain how the Nigerian Mozambican's mother went to Nigeria. How can she do that? They're worried about the entry of an exit of a person from the country. That's what Action SA's focus is. That's what they're worried about. Yeah, that's what they're going for. How did Adeshina's mother travel to Nigeria? Action SA demands answers. She is very good with lots of makeup on, that's for sure. Very attractive. Action SA has written to the Department of Home Affairs to demand clarity on how former Miss South Africa contestant Chidima Vanessa Adeshina's mother, who was under investigation for alleged fraud, was able to travel to Nigeria for the Miss Universe Nigeria contest this past weekend. Well, let's see. Has she been charged with a crime? No. So why should her movements be restricted? But that's what Action SA is concerned about. Yeah, they demand answers from Home Affairs after her mother is spotted in Nigeria. My goodness, she went to Nigeria. According to Action SA's chief whip, Lorato Ngobeni, mother was spotted during a television broadcast. Ngobeni blasted the department for negligence, arguing that given the nature of the investigation involving immigration controls, travel would have been restricted, especially in Nigeria. It's therefore alarming that the main subject of this ongoing investigation has been seen in Nigeria this past weekend during a televised broadcast of Miss Universe. Seriously? Talk about a fake controversy. Talk about a bunch of nonsense. Talk about a bunch of bullshit. This is some bullshit here. Seriously? That's what they're worried about in Action SA? Really? Wow. Garrett says, what fascinates me is the verve and energy these journalists put into hyper-ethical issues and neglect the real criminal politicians. Yeah. Where is the outrage from the DA, from Action SA, from the media about Pala Pala? Why is Pala Pala dying? The court cases are going on for the people accused of theft. But Cyril Ramaphosa's name isn't in the paper. Not even mentioned. Zweli Mkhize, the Special Investigating Unit, said that he committed crimes in the Digital Vibes case. And all the ANC did was make him resign as minister. And everybody forgot about it. The dude still makes $1.4 million a year as a member of parliament. He shouldn't be in parliament. He should be in prison. VBS, that's another one. Why isn't Julius William and Floyd Shimambu in prison? These people are just in the arms deal. We still have that garbage going on. Travelgate. No one went to jail over Travelgate. Well, fireworks and an airplane. Disrespect shown to the All Blacks haka. Well, Sister Bettina blasting over All Black haka, slammed as disrespectful. As the All Blacks lined up to lay down the gauntlet by performing their famed haka to world champion Springboks at Ellis Park, they would expect a 60,000 strong crowd to make their voices heard. And they did. But then, as an A380 flew overhead, we started hearing music. The whole thing was quite bizarre. As a consequence, SARU, South African Rugby, has issued an apology to New Zealand for the interference at Ellis Park. They said it wasn't deliberate. Well, it just shows more South African incompetence. That's what it shows. Wow. Closing moments of haka have been obscured by a sequence of events, including music and fireworks, as well as a flyover by an A380 airliner after failure to observe pre-planned scheduling. So basically, what does that mean? Because they didn't get out on the pitch in time and the plane had to fly over a specific moment? I mean, think about that. The plane is timed to fly over at a specific moment. It's not like the plane just wait there. It's not a helicopter. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We're not ready yet. Hold on. So the A380 just stops in midair. No, it's not an alien spacecraft. Well, South Africa got their first medal in the Paralympics. Congratulations. Mlongo got 100-meter gold, and he said that opened the floodgates. And, well, he might be right because South Africa got another medal today, a bronze. South Africa's Mpumelelo Mlongo was thrilled after winning the 100 meters gold in the T44 final yesterday. The 30-year-old entered the event as the world record holder, but he didn't have a good start. Nonetheless, he won the race. He led the South African team out in the Paralympic opening ceremony 4 days ago, and on Sunday, Mpumelelo Mlongo was once again proudly guided the team to the first podium place in Paris. Expectations were sky high for him heading into the final, as he's a double world champion and world record holder, and the KZN sprint star duly delivered, blazing to victory in 11.12 seconds. Wow, folks. He is missing a limb in 11.2 seconds. That's incredibly fast. I think that would beat most of us. Wow. So he gets the gold. Congratulations. And then today, Luzanne Coetzee won the bronze. She won the bronze in the women's 1500 T11 final in the Paris Paralympics. Of course, she's a blind runner, and she has a guide. So Coetzee and her guide runner, Erasmus Bodenhorst, crossed the finish line third with a personal best of 4 minutes, 35 seconds in the 1500 meters. Ethiopia's Yayesh Tesfat took gold in the world record run, and China's Shan San He took silver. Coetzee won Team South Africa's second medal following the one from Longo's gold on Sunday. Paralympics continues. She will participate in the women's marathon on September 8th. And good luck to Luzanne Coetzee. That's amazing stuff. At 1:30 today, in about 35 minutes, the USA takes on... Who are they taking on? They're in the final. I forget now. I'm going to take a look here. They're playing the final of the wheelchair rugby in the Paralympics. Where the heck is it at? Should be here somewhere. Come on. That's not it. Where in the heck did it go? There it is. Japan. They played Japan in wheelchair rugby for the final. That's coming up. Yeah, earlier today, the Australians pipped the UK and won the bronze medal in wheelchair rugby. Yep. Angus Roy McBean. Hey, how's it going, man? Someone got the timing horribly wrong. It's as simple as that. Correct, Charles. Yep. Competent South Africa. You're joking, says Dylan. South Africa is a country in Africa unburdened by its past or its future. Too many fingers fumbling at Ellis Park. Yep. Giuseppe says afford to lose and still make quarterfinals, semifinals. Huh? Robert Rankin. Best wishes all athletes. Yes, Angus, exactly. Best wishes all athletes. Paralympics is pretty heartwarming to watch. Well, penguins are in the crap, folks. The penguins are in trouble. The jackass penguins, which the South Africans have tried to rename the African penguin, but it's not. It's not the African penguin. It's the jackass penguin. Wow, they're loud, man. That didn't sound very good. Didn't sound like one of them. But the jackass penguins, yep. Penguins on the precipice. Survival in the noisiest bay in the world. Bunkering in South Africa's Algoa Bay has dramatically cut the number of birds in the former world's largest colony by 90%. I think that's probably not an accurate description. So what they're saying is refueling ships out in the harbor has caused the penguins to swim further away because of the noise, and they get too far, they're exhausted, and they don't have enough energy to survive the molts. Yeah. So Nick Dahl visited St. Croix Island in 2017. It was home of 6,000 breeding pairs of African penguins. So that's 12,000 penguins. 35% of the global population of jackass penguins. But on a blissful September morning, they sped across the bay on the east coast of South Africa past a grimy cargo ship and a bulging merengue that is the Nelson Mandela Bay Football Stadium before stopping alongside St. Croix. The boat rocked from side to side. To the human eye, the rocky, sun-baked pinprick seemed pretty inhospitable place, but birds clearly saw things differently. Well, they do correctly say that some of the challenges that jackass penguins have faced over the years, of course, these offshore islands used to be full of guano that was stripped for fertilizer in the last century, the late 19th, the early part of the 20th century. But other issues have been overfishing, taking away their feedstock, and now they're saying bunkering is causing a huge decline in these penguins. Since 2017, largely due to ship-to-ship bunkering, the number of birds using St. Croix each season has dropped by 90%. Put another way, in the years since, St. Croix has gone from being the world's largest African penguin colony to being one of the smallest. But that begs the question, are the penguins dead, or did they go elsewhere? Perhaps they simply went elsewhere. That might be part of the conversation. But it isn't discussed here. Yes, they're called jackass because of the noise they make. I was trying to emulate that, but I was very bad at it. Well, here's something. In Gaza, mass vaccinations amid limited pause in fighting. Mass polio vaccination campaign began in Gaza on Sunday morning, immunized 600,000 children as the besieged enclave faces public health crisis with the reemergence of highly contagious disease. So let me ask you this question, folks. Let me ask you this question. Why in the hell did they have to vaccinate 600,000 Gazan children? There's only a population of 2 million there. So were they not giving polio vaccines to begin with? Do you want empathy now because your terrorists started a war and murdered innocent civilians and gang raped and beheaded and shot and murdered people, maimed them? So now you want sympathy because you're too stupid to vaccinate children? Polio was wiped out in the wild in the 1970s. Unfortunately, because of Islam, it made a resurgence because of the Hajj a few years back. Why in the world are 600,000 children in Gaza not already vaccinated before this conflict even started? Where are the billions of dollars that the U.S. government has given to the Palestinian Authority to administer and run that enclave? Where the Washington Post wants us to have empathy. I have no empathy whatsoever. What kind of morons are these people that they don't vaccinate kids for polio? Well, in Tunisia, the fascist totalitarian state of Tunisia, run by Kais Saied, who suspended parliament and runs the country as his own personal fiefdom, he's had a presidential opponent arrested. Well, there's no surprise there. Tunisian police arrested presidential candidate Aïchimi Samel today. A member of his campaign told Reuters amid growing fears that rights groups that the opposition that prominent rivals to President Kais Saied will be excluded from the race. Mahdi Abdel Jawad said police had arrested Samel at his home at 3 a.m. on suspicion of falsifying popular endorsements and added that the matter has become absurd and aims to exclude him from the election. Falsifying popular endorsements. What the hell does that mean? Did he vote in an online poll for Taylor Swift? Falsifying popular endorsements. Did he write a Yelp review about Five Guys, McDonald's? Is that why he's in prison? This is insane. Tunisia is an illegitimate government. Where is the Biden regime talking about the illegitimate government of Tunisia? Where is the ANC talking about the illegitimate government of Tunisia? Where is the African Union, the Arab League, the Arab Maghreb Union, the United Nations, the European Union? All silent on the fascist, totalitarian, oppressive regime of Kais Saied, arresting political opponents, arresting business leaders with no legitimate crime. Silent. As they're silent and complicit in the war in Myanmar, on the Chinese human rights violations against the Uyghurs, against Tibetans, against the Falun Gong. As they are they're silent against their own crimes against Americans incarcerated on fraudulent trumped up charges over January 6th. Unbelievable. The world is truly upside down. Take to the streets. Israelis take off and march in numbers as the unions call for a strike today. Anger in Israel boiled over Sunday after the nation's military said it recovered the bodies of 6 Hamas hostages, including a young Israeli-American man. Prime Minister Netanyahu apologized to the hostage families as protests decrying his leadership erupted across the country. So they're protesting their anger with Benjamin Netanyahu. Shut up! Shut up! He didn't launch this freaking war. Now, his government's responsible for the piss-poor response and the poor defense, knowing what could come from there, knowing the capabilities of Hamas. They are responsible for that and complicit, and they should pay for that at some point. But shut your mouths. He didn't kill those hostages. They were alive all this time. And these callous, murdering, slimeball piece of shit terrorists in Gaza murdered them because they were about to be freed. Direct your anger at the Palestinian terrorist, not at the leader of Israel, a democratic state. You don't like him? Vote him out. Bunch of idiots. General strike erupts and disrupts Israel amid calls for a ceasefire. The Israeli government has sought a ceasefire multiple times. And look, it's usual suspects. Tattooed arms, hideous clothing, very unattractive, hideous people. A general strike in Israel disrupted banks, public transport, hospitals, and stores. And the country's main airport, as the largest Israeli trade union, sought to pressure the government to reach a ceasefire 6 days after six more hostages were found dead. Pressure the government. The government has they've agreed to 2 ceasefires. Hamas doesn't want a ceasefire. The Palestinians don't want a ceasefire. They want you to see the misery. They want people to die. These are the useful pawns to achieve their political goals, to demonize Israel. Well, let's talk about another kind of fascist totalitarian state, one of the crazy stands. Azerbaijan ruling parties on course for a victory. Ilham Aliyev's new Azerbaijan party was set to win 63 of the 125 seats, down from 69 in the outgoing parliament. Azerbaijan's ruling party is on course for the narrowest of victories in a snap parliamentary election called by the president. The poll conducted by Oracle Advisory Group on Sunday said his new Azerbaijan party is set to win 63 seats. Voting began at 8 a.m. on a Sunday and closed at 7 p.m. in a country of 6.4 million people registered to vote in the oil-rich Central Asian nation. The snap parliamentary election was the first in the country since it regained full control of the former breakaway territory of Nagorno-Karabakh in lightning offensive last year against ethnic Armenian forces. And the Biden administration was silent on that conflict. So was South Africa. Voting was held in Nagorno-Karabakh for the first time in 30 years. Wow. Previous elections since independence from the Soviet Union have not been regarded as fully free or fair. With the vote for Mili Milius, the National Assembly, it's not expected to bring significant changes to the body. Aliyev is accused of ruling heavy-handed, suppressing dissent in the country of almost 10 million people on the shores of the Caspian. Azerbaijan has been seen economic growth under his leadership boosted by significant oil and natural gas exports. The 60-year-old leader succeeded his father, Haydar Aliyev, who was president between 1993 and 2003. Yeah, fascist totalitarian state once again. Dark tanker, what's that? A crash exposes the dangers of China's thirst for cheap oil. A crude oil tanker traveling from Iran made a delivery to a Chinese port city, Ningbo, 2 months ago before heading back toward the Middle East. The Saris 1 had made its round trip several times the past year according to ship tracking data, but it didn't complete the voyage. The Saris 1 and another tanker collided off Malaysia in the South China Sea on July 19th, causing significant damage to both vessels. Malaysian authorities said the Saris 1 had experienced technical difficulties, but shipping and industry analysts say the pattern of the vessel's movements before the collision suggests another explanation. The Saris 1 had been broadcasting a fake location on ship locator channels. Wow. So these why are they doing this? They're hiding the fact that they're bringing oil in tons of it because they're dishonest scumbags. Elon Musk, X officially down in Brazil after judges shut down order. So he shuts it down. It's shut down now. Hang on a second here. My timestamps aren't there. Yes, Elon Musk, it's shut down in Brazil, and people are looking for alternatives. So let's cover that story. The site was working normally in Brazil on August 30th, but the platform went offline a day later. The shutdown of X in Brazil is underway, making it largely inaccessible for residents of the country through the web or mobile apps. An Epoch Times reporter attempted to access X, formerly known as Twitter, through a virtual private network based in Brazil, but was unsuccessful. Wow, that's terrible. Unbelievable what's going on there, folks. Unbelievable. Sorry, having issues with YouTube. What the hell? It's not showing me my chat. Interesting. There's a comment that's missing there, so I was trying to deal with it. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. Just distracted by that. Yeah, so X is down in Brazil. But it's not the only news coming out of Brazil. There's more coming out of Brazil. Somehow I got ahead of... There we go. I don't know what happened there. France confronts a bizarre rape case. A man drugged his wife and had 51 men rape her over the course of multiple years. Some of them come back and rape her 6 times without her ever even knowing it. She'd been raped. Strange story. A man accused of drugging his wife and then inviting dozens of men to rape her over almost a decade. The question raised by the case is unsettled France. For years, she's been losing hair and weight. She started forgetting whole days and sometimes appeared to be in dreamlike trances. Her children and friends worried she had Alzheimer's. But in late 2020, after she was summoned to a police station in southern France, she learned a far more shattering story. Her husband of 50 years, Dominique Pellicot, had been crushing sleeping pills into her food and drink to put her into a deep sleep, and then raping her. He'd ushered dozens of men into her home to film them raping her, and they said an abuse that lasted nearly a decade. Using the man's photographs, videos, and online messages, the police spent the next 2 years identifying and charging those other suspects. On Monday, 51 men, including Mr. Pellicot, went on trial in Avignon in a case that shocked France and cast the spotlight on the use of drugs to commit sexual offenses and the broader culture in which such crimes could occur. Wow. The accused men represent a kaleidoscope of working class and middle class French society: truck drivers, soldiers, carpenters, and trade workers, a prison guard, a nurse, an IT expert working for a bank, a local journalist. They range in age from 26 to 74. Many have children and are in relationships. Most are charged with raping the woman once, but a handful are accused of returning to rape her as many as 6 times. The victim, who has since divorced her husband and changed her surname, is now in her 70s. So she was in her 60s and he was having men rape her. Since his arrest, the 71-year-old Mr. Pellicot has always declared himself guilty, says his lawyer. He is not at all contesting his role. Others have denied the rape charges, some arguing that they had the husband's permission and thought that was sufficient. Okay, gentlemen, let me just help you out here. If a married couple approaches you, the husband, and offers to have sex with the wife when she's drugged and passed out, that does not confer consent, you morons. Good Lord. What a crazy country. Well, imagine this. The Kremlin prefers Kamala Harris. I'll bet they do, just like the leftists. They love it. Kremlin prefers Kamala Harris, calls her predictable. Russian leaders see Vice President Kamala Harris as more predictable than Republicans, according to spokesman for Vladimir Putin. In an interview with Russian TV reporter Pavel Zaburin, Dmitry Peskov joked that the Kremlin had no candidate after President Biden dropped out. We have no candidate. But of course, the Democrats are more predictable. And what Putin said about Biden's predictability applies to almost all Democrats, including Ms. Harris. Outfiltration is what's going on here? Comes from my book, Coup d'etat in the Land of Zip Zippy. Outfiltration is the ability to put... I have no idea what you're talking about. Right. So... what did I warn you guys about? I said that there would be cognitive problems, there would be learning issues, there would be behavioral issues. We're going to have a generation of psychopaths because of the crimes against humanity that were committed by forcing social distancing. We are not bear. We are not pumas. We are not animals, beasts that live independently without clans around us. Humans are social creatures. And denying infants and children and school children access to socialization at a critical stage will lead to socialization issues. It will lead to speech impediments. It will lead to learning impediments. And guess what's happening? The scumbags who destroyed our countries have produced a generation of issues for us. 1 in 3 British children in schools have speech impediments now because they didn't socialize when they went through COVID. Yep. I told you at the time, I said it. I said this is stupid. It should never be allowed. How did the pandemic impact babies starting school as children now? Well, because of the lockdown, people couldn't go to school. Yep. Some children may have benefited from more time at home with their parents, and some children might have been negatively impacted. Well, most children are negatively impacted, you morons. And we told you that at the beginning. I'm trying to find where it said down here, but somewhere it says that 1 in 3 children. Yeah, education systems weren't there. Health and medical support was not there. Their interaction with the wider social networks wasn't there. 1/3 of preschoolers at Elizabeth Selby School had speech and language needs during the last year, up from 25% in 2020. Wow. In June 2020, 22,952 children were waiting 19 to 52 weeks for speech and language therapy appointments, and 5,832 children were waiting over a year. Yeah, the UK destroyed its youth. Absolutely destroyed them. What's interesting about this picture here, though, is that this is England. And there are only one English child in that group. One English girl sitting over here. That's it. Look at all these kids and only one English child. Wow. I guess you can stop calling it England. Well, Brazil's Supreme Court, back to Brazil, had the judges to vote on the X ban. Look at Darth Vader there. Justice Alejandra de Moraes suspended X on 30 August and imposed $8,900 fines for anyone caught skirting the blockade with VPNs. Brazil's Supreme Court will vote on Monday on whether to uphold a ruling to shut down Elon Musk's social media platform. So they're going to vote today. So Brazil is an illegitimate country with a criminal regime running it, and we see what's happening there. Well, now they're going after Starlink. Brazilians seek out social media alternatives after ban on Elon Musk. Judge decision outlaw X ignites nationwide debate over free speech. Brazilians logged on to X this weekend. They found a blank website with a simple message: "It's not possible to access this site." Camila Rezenda, a 39-year-old in Brasilia, joined hundreds of thousands in signing up for social media platform Blue Sky, an app that resembles X, formerly Twitter. Others joined Threads and X Arrival. Yeah, so they just drive them to Zuckerberg. So isn't that nice? Yep. Blue Sky. Well, as I said, they're going after Starlink now. Musk Starlink defies an order to block X in Brazil. The satellite internet service controlled by Elon Musk is refusing to comply with a court order to block his social network, according to regulators. For weeks, the billionaire refused to comply with Brazilian court order to suspend certain accounts on his social media network. He ignored fines and then fired ex-employees in Brazil so courts couldn't hold them accountable. And then after Brazil's Supreme Court ordered X blocked, he suggests that Brazilians use software to circumvent the ban despite the risk of large fines. He's now defying the Brazilian government again. Starlink, the satellite internet service controlled by Musk, has 250,000 customers in Brazil. He told the country's telecom agency Sunday that it would not comply with orders to block X. This is a rogue, fascist, New World Order government in Brazil. And we saw it coming when the election was stolen there. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. Well, Russians say that Elon Musk, SpaceX, is responsible for putting a hole in the atmosphere. A new study from Russian scientists claims that the unexpected detonation of SpaceX's Starship rocket during a test flight in November 2023 tore an ionospheric hole in the upper atmosphere. It's the first time this type of hole has been created by a human-caused explosion. Wow. On November 18th, 2023, SpaceX launched a Super Heavy Starship rocket, the largest and most powerful rocket ever built, for the second time ever from SpaceX's Starbase test and manufacturing facility in Boca Chica. 4 minutes after liftoff, the engine's first stage, a large, powerful part, contains main engines, yada, 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 yada. Anyway, 93 miles above the Earth, 150 kilometers above the ground. When a fire started, the rocket vented liquid oxygen. It was blown up. And it created a hole, a big hole. Well, Germany's far right has won in the eastern side of the country. Run for the hills, folks. Voters in 2 eastern states elected their new state legislatures on Sunday. There's Bjorn Höcke, lead candidate for that party. Germany's Alternative für Deutschland, a right-wing party, secured a historic win in a state election, its first in 60 years. And is a striking distance with another victory in Sachsen. But they only got 33% of the vote, folks. Don't get too excited. Second place came at 23%. That was the CDU. A far right in Germany shaking up the fragile coalition of the CDU and SPD. German state elections dealt a heavy blow to the parties in Chancellor Olaf Scholz's government, and historic wins for two anti-establishment parties are likely to aggravate instability in an already fractious ruling coalition. With only a year to go before the national elections in Europe's largest economy, Sunday's results look set to increase the pressure on Scholz to be tougher on immigration. Yeah, well, he should be tougher on immigration. Germany has been sold off to scumbags. Well, Scholz, the New World Order stooge, urges party leaders to boycott the far right after the election wins. So they complain about the threats to democracy. The democratic process takes place in Germany, and then they try to undermine the results of the democratic process by telling people not to cooperate. It sounds very much like the federal agencies who sabotage and undermine the Trump administration during his first term in office. Yeah. So democracy's at risk. Remember how the Democrats rang that bell for 9 months before Joe Biden dropped out and Kamala Harris stole the nomination? Remember that? That's disappeared. Trump's not a threat to democracy anymore because they're the threat to democracy. Democracy is important to them until they lose an election legitimately. Yeah, so they lost the election legitimately in Sachsen and lost one essentially they lost one in Turingen and essentially lost it in Sachsen. And because of that, now everyone must unite against the people who were voted for. We must unite against the people who are democratically voted for because democracy is a risk. The AfD came in first in Turingen and second in Saxony. So building a coalition government without them will be difficult. Yep. Victories for Germany's far-right alternative for Germany in two eastern states prompted Olaf Scholz to urge mainstream parties to forge coalitions without the anti-migrant party. All democratic parties are now called upon to form stable governments without right-wing extremists, Scholz said. Wow. Well, Olaf Scholz is an illegitimate race-hustling piece of shit and should leave government. Yeah. Bye-bye. But now he claims he's going to deport these criminals. The German chancellor promises more deportations after Solingen knife attack. The 26-year-old Syrian terrorist is being held by police on suspicion of fatally stabbing 3 people at a festival in Solingen. Well, he promised to increase deportations on August 26th. It's already September 2nd and nobody's been deported. We must do everything to ensure that such things never happen again in our country, said Scholz. Well, you can start by deporting the 6 million criminal alien invaders that are in Germany who have no business being there. Well, Kamala Harris is in Pennsylvania, and she wants to block the sale of U.S. steel to a Japanese firm, to Nippon Steel. Well, there you go. There you go. Protectionism. That's going to create jobs. Not. Another idiotic comment from Kamala Harris. Not the brightest, sharpest tool in the woodshed. Well, do you like NASCAR? Country music? A nonpartisan voter registration group doesn't want to help you. The Voter Participation Center excludes NASCAR fans, golf aficionados from its voter registration efforts. Do you live in a swing state? If so, the Voter Participation Center is a nonpartisan charity that is spending big on Facebook ads to ensure you have the information you need to cast a ballot in the upcoming election. Well, that is, unless you like NASCAR, golf, Jeeps, or other interests and hobbies typically associated with Republican men. In that case, the Voter Participation Center does not want to share information that might help you make it to the polls. The Voter Participation Center is a self-described nonpartisan charity that claims to have helped more than 6 million people register to vote since it was created in 2003. They claim to be nonpartisan, and that's important because the IRS gives them status as nonprofit because they're nonpartisan, and they benefit from generous tax exemptions, and they can only engage in voter registration drives in a neutral, nonpartisan manner to keep that nonprofit status. But the Voter Participation Service, or Voter Participation Center on the surface, their Facebook ads appear to meet that nonpartisan standard. It's quick and easy to register online to vote in Georgia. Check it off your list to do in just a few minutes. Reads one of the organization's ads. It's received over 1 million impressions in Georgia alone. But behind the scenes, Facebook ad library data indicate that the Voter Participation Center's ad campaign is deployed with partisan intent. The group has instructed Facebook to exclude from the reach of its ads anyone who has expressed interest on Facebook in 26 categories associated with Republican men, including PGA Tour, Indianapolis 500, Daytona 500, Tom Clancy, modified Jeeps, Duck Dynasty, and others. The Voter Participation Center has spent more than $760,000 on a staggering 8,235 Facebook ads over the last 90 days in the swing states of Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, according to the Facebook ad library. This is criminal election interference. This is a fraudulent organization based on this story. Wow. Of course, the Voter Participation Center did not respond to a request for comment from the Washington Examiner. Wow. On the other hand, the Voter Participation Center has instructed Facebook to ensure its ads do target audiences interested in a wide range of topics typically associated with liberal audiences, such as African American literature, Jordan Peele, Taylor Swift, Patagonia, and hot yoga. If you do that on Facebook, you'll get the ads. But if you follow Chris Wyatt, you won't get the ad to register to vote. Yep. Wow. The group's tax filings betray its covert partisan leanings. From 2020 to 2022, the Voter Participation Center has paid more than $17.8 million for services from Mission Control, a micro-targeting firm that touts itself as the most successful direct mail firm working Democratic politics today. Mission Control has claimed credit for delivering Democratic wins in hotly contested House, Senate, and gubernatorial races. So it has paid a Democratic partisan organization while getting tax-exempt status. This is election interference. And there's nobody in the media talking about this except the Washington Free Beacon. That's it. No mainstream media talking about it because they don't want to talk about it. The Trump campaign uses statements from Gold Star families to attack Harris. No, the Gold Star families set the story straight. Kamala Harris lied. It's not an attack. It's not an attack. See, that's the problem. They use language inappropriately, imprecisely. It's not an attack. It's simply a statement of fact. The latest effort by Trump campaign to defend itself that the campaign defied a ban on political campaigning at the Arlington National Cemetery. Now, I'm sorry there, Chris Cameron, but your story is a lie. And the link that you give to another story basically exposes your lie. The Trump campaign did not do that. That's what leftist outlets like yourself lie about. And that's not journalism. That's yellow journalism. All right, so the Washington Times took a post. Do you believe the federal government and insurance companies should be required to cover in vitro fertilization? Apparently, Donald Trump said that they would cover in vitro fertilization. Government should not be paying for abortions. The government should not be paying for in vitro fertilization. The government should not be paying for fertility issues. The government should not be paying for murdering children either. That is inappropriate. Let's see what the poll said in the Washington Times. Absolutely yes, only 7%, possibly 8%, not sure, 7%. And 77% of respondents say absolutely not. The government should not be paying for in vitro fertilization. And I'm in that 77%. Muslim Women for Harris dropped their endorsement because they didn't get a spot in the convention. Would that story make any headlines? Have you heard about that story? This is already an old story. The group Muslim Women for Harris Waltz announced Thursday that they're disbanding, withdrawing support for the campaign in response to Vice President Kamala Harris's team denying anti-Israeli uncommitted delegates a speaking slot at the DNC. We cannot in good conscience continue Muslim Women for Harris Waltz. In light of this new information from the uncommitted movement, the VP Harris's team declined their request to have a Palestinian American speaker take the stage at the DNC. Well, they're not Palestinian Americans, they're Americans. Futsek, you want to be Palestinian, go to Palestine. You're an American. Well, the WNBA's got some minor little controversy going on here, folks, sparking in this nonsense talking about whether it's Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, but it's pretty certain. We all see that the complete all-around player is Caitlin Clark. A role player is Angel Reese, a very good role player, fantastic rebounder, but she is not an all-around complete player. Caitlin Clark changes an entire game by her mere presence on the court. WNBA legend sparks outrage with terrible Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese Rookie of the Year claim. Wow. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese should share this year's WNBA Rookie of the Year award, according to women's basketball legend Lisa Leslie, who has her head up her ass. Both Clark and Reese are enjoying terrific debut campaigns where they resume their gripping college rivalry while battling out for the prestigious Rookie of the Year prize. Lisa Leslie says, I don't care what comparisons you make, both Reese and Caitlin Clark deserve the Rookie of the Year award. The pressure and the weight of the season has forever changed the WNBA, and both rookies rose to the top and exceeded all expectations. Take a bow, ladies. Well, people didn't buy into that crap. Nope, they didn't buy into that. People aren't buying it for a second. Lisa Leslie. And there's Lisa Leslie right there. Jason Whitlock, who happens to be black, says this level of skin color tribalism is sad and disappointing. An elite rebounder versus an elite basketball player. Delete your tweet. Just disrespectful to what Clark is doing. Nah, you're going to have to give him good takes, but this is a terrible one, like really bad. You got one player that's all WNBA first team, and the other is a role player that brings no winning basketball to the team. Yeah, her team is a losing team. And the third person is just disrespectful to what Clark is doing. It's not a consolation award. Reese and Clark are miles apart. There's no comparison, so please be serious. A fifth comment, it's unanimously Caitlin. Angel's doing great, but Caitlin has been doing some crazy stuff, and it would be a disservice to Caitlin to have to share that award. And here is Jason Whitlock right there. And he commented on this. There it is right there. Skin color tribalism. There is no legitimate argument for Angel Reese sharing Rookie of the Year. None. Reese is an elite rebounder. Clark is an elite basketball player. There isn't one team that would draft Reese ahead of Clark. Yep. So racism. That's what it is. And Jason Whitlock calls it out. Well, in her disastrous 18-minute interview, the New York Post comments on it in an op-ed that it didn't go very well for Kamala Harris. Well, that's not a surprise, folks. After 5 weeks of slobbering media coverage akin to the rhetorical version of a hot stone massage, Kamala Harris finally left the bubble that has carried her to record fundraising and competitive poll numbers with Donald Trump in key swing states. And then the bubble burst. The candidacy of the past 40 days as Democratic nominee has been almost out of an artificial intelligence creation. Harris was not allowed to speak to the press, nor was her running mate, little Timmy Stolen Valor Waltz. Everything was packaged, scripted, and homogenized. When the candidates did speak, they were guided by their new god, a teleprompter. And usually when they were asked questions by the media, this was response. First, we're going to win. And then she gets on the plane. Yep. Even with their hands practically being held after the anchor asked questions that included multiple choice answers and little follow-up, the potential president and VP fumbled and lied during the relatively short 18-minute pre-taped interview. She especially hurt herself in the places it matters most in key swing states. In Arizona, she screwed up the topic of immigration. In Michigan, she screwed up the auto industry topic. And in Pennsylvania, where 83% of Pennsylvanians believe that drilling for more gas and oil would lower costs, 86% say it would improve national security, she held on to her ban on fracking nonsense. Kamala Harris is a clown. And it's best if she simply doesn't say anything, and then people are dumb enough to think she's smart. Because she's not smart. She's an idiot. And she's a clown who has no talent whatsoever and has never accomplished a single thing in her life. Being elected to office is an accomplishment, especially when there's so many other people involved in it. What the hell is with this chair? Hang on. There we go. Try that. Thing is really driving me nuts. All right. All right, let's get to the chat, folks. Be sure to hit the like button if you don't mind. USA will start playing that wheelchair rugby gold medal game here in just a moment. And that'll be on Peacock TV if you're in the States. Chris says marriage means exclusivity, not to swingers. USA is a slave of Israel. Nope. Not true. Universal truth about geopolitics, no one cares unless it impacts or can benefit them personally. That's an insightful comment there, Bobby B. What's wrong with the volume there, Giuseppe? These penguins probably moved somewhere else due to environmental issues. Yeah, that's my thought. Kamala unburdened herself, then she took it up. Oh my goodness. They blamed the crowd for being too noisy, so the music man thought the hockey was over and blasted music. He couldn't see the guy still down there on the pitch doing this. Oh my goodness. By the way, folks, YouTube, I don't know if they're targeting my channel or they're just having a problem. I'm not even going to ask them because they never answer. But thank you, Johan, was it Bornman, for just subscribing. Appreciate that. But when I start my broadcast on YouTube for the past several days, it doesn't start. I sit here and watch my studio, and it takes 35 to 45 seconds before it starts. So if I start talking and doing things, then there's a huge minute gap between what I say before you see it, and then 2 minutes by the time you've typed a comment. So what I've been doing is patiently waiting for the past several times after I notice it. I start the stream, I leave the screen blank, I wait. When I see it finally come up after 30 or 45 seconds, then I start my stream and I count. And then the 3 second, 4 second low latency period actually begins. So I'm seeing right now, like if I go, I'll do 5. Let me count how many seconds before I see it over here. So 5, 1, 2, 3. There, see, there you go. So it's only 3 seconds difference. So we're at near real time now. But I have to do that manually because what's going on. I don't know if they're targeting me so they can take down my stuff. That's possible. You never know. All right. We laughed at something. Make it stop, Donald. Huh? My 6-year-old granddaughter is still shy around crowds. Yeah, no doubt about it. They're terrified, these kids. Arctic says, nope, not buying it. Your kid, your responsibility. Well, I'm not sure what the comment's coming from. Kids are parents' responsibility, and if they have speech impediments, it's the parents' fault in many cases for not engaging with them. But the socialization is not something the parents can do. The children need to socialize with other children. You need to expose to other children to grow up and be socially responsible. The Brazil case is not about X, but shutting down supporters of former President Bolsonaro. Correct. I know that. In South Africa, it's windy. In South Africa, Allison says, I find that my grade 5s are extremely emotionally immature for their age. Yep. I'm sure it is, Allison. That's exactly what it's due to. Wow, grade 5, you're teaching. Wow, little kids. A lady at our house yesterday watching her child whack another kid, and she did nothing, having Down syndrome and the looks of it. Wow, that's no excuse, Charles. Yep. Boy, lucky I wasn't there. Yeah, cock parents are a problem. So is coddling kids. My son has ADHD, but he would never behave like that. I simply would not allow it. There you go, Charles. Children can't be coddled. Yep. Complete lack of discipline in society is most likely cause. Well, yes, Charles, but the socialization is necessary. You guys can't dismiss that. Extra effort was needed after COVID, but most parents simply believe the schools that need to put the effort. Yep. Jacques Funderbeck says, good evening. Welcome. How's it going there, Jacques? Demonocracy at work in Germany. That's good. I like that. Okay. Wait a second. NASCAR went woke. Yes, it sure did. What the hell's going on here at Chris Ehlers and Dylan? Referencing placebo pure morning when asked about Polish refugees. What? I don't know what that's about, Paul. Did I miss something? Robert says we see you in real time. Not really. There's a latency there. It's an intentional latency. It's always 3 to 4 seconds minimum. Yep. Kids are glued to cock TV. They have to play outside like we did. Yeah. They have to be challenged. They have to do chores. They have to do their homework. They have to read. They have to study. Yep. Let them sit around devices and then hang around outside. Not healthy. Yep. Anyway, so let me go back over here. Boy, the Haka one's got 600 views. I'm a little surprised by that. I'm probably going to, like I said, I'm going to get flamed. I got 1 dislike, but that's probably the usual guy who just says the dislikes on there. Yeah, we think we know who that is there. Okay, let's see. It's our home game. We do our thing. They can dance all they want. So what? We're at home and whine. Personally, do we really care? Informed God-fearing Christian South Africans, folk around the world do not respect the Haka in terms of what it represents. The calling up the demonic realm. That's good. I like that. Sticking out tongues is a phallic gesture. Why must the world endure that? They took way longer than usual. They had some sort of prayer before the Haka. Yep. I confirm the Haka is done to intimidate the opponents. This is confirmed by an all-black supporter. Also, the opponents are forced to stand there and watch when they could actually have done some extra sketching and some mental prep. It's cool to witness, and I love it when the Springboks stand there and they look like they feel nothing, but the Haka is not to be seen by the world as something everyone needs to shut up and look and all at. It's got nothing to do with any other countries, and we don't believe... there you go. So, well said. That's well said there by Armand Potgieter. Okay. Well stated. I'll have to give him a like on that one. There you go. Well, that's cool. I didn't expect to see many people watch that one. Well, it's not a lot, 652, but it's a start. It's a start. The one from this morning, what are we doing on that one? Well, that one's doing all right at 3,200, getting over 1,000 views in the last hour. That's cool. That's the one about Ramon Cabanach that I was talking about at the beginning here, how the ILL is laser focused on Ramon. But it's a better op-ed than the previous ones. We don't take the impy dancers with us to Wellington. No, we don't, Arctic, and that's what I said in the video. I said, hey, why don't we get some Zulu, some Xhosa, and some Boer, Haka, make our own Haka. Don't even think the N-word is kipping. What? Yep. Yeah, why don't we make our own Haka? That's what I'm saying. Let's make our own Haka, folks. Let me check in on this now and see. What the hell? It's not here anymore now. Watch now. There we go. That's when I get there. USA is leading 6-4 in wheelchair rugby as we get started here. Wow. Yep. Yeah, wheelchair rugby. USA gold medal game against Japan. 4 minutes, 56 seconds in. Yeah, wheelchair rugby. This is a little bit different than wheelchair rugby that I saw in England for the Rugby League World Cup. That rocked. I went to the final in Manchester. That was unbelievable. What an atmosphere. France versus England. Or versus Great Britain. Yeah, was it England? Yeah, anyway. But, yeah, so it was incredible. The Rugby League World Cup, wheelchair rugby was something else. I didn't know that able-bodied people could play the game. That you're limited how many you can have on the court. But, yeah, wheelchair rugby just rocks, man. It's incredible. So, anyway, 4 minutes, 40 seconds in. USA has the ball. And up to midcourt. There it goes. Oh, how's that not offsides? Passes back, looking for a gap. They're always bumping each other in these things. It's kind of like watching like a video game if you look at it. Oh, he's going to get in. It's so close. There it is. And USA gets the 7th one. Well done. 7-5 now. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoy it in the rugby league one. Ayler's, the point is if New Zealand can do the haka, then every team should be allowed 5 minutes for each game to do what they want. Exactly, Arctic. Exactly correct. That's why I said we should have our own haka. Yep. The Cosmic Chronicles says, hello. How are you, Cosmic Chronicles? Welcome back. Impy dancers not represented as Springboks don't come with cock. I didn't say that. I said have a combination or, Zulu, Xhosa, and Boer. That's more representative. Trouble with sharing your broadcast to Facebook. Hester, I'm not surprised. I'm shadow banned by Facebook, even though I don't do anything on Facebook. I know that people don't get access to things. Look, the social media leftists are afraid of me. I don't know why. I don't pose any threat to them. I don't have much of an audience. They're just cock shitheads who've lost their minds. So I don't know what's going on with them, but that's the truth. That's the truth of the matter, folks. Yeah, South Africa concoct a Boer, Zulu, Xhosa San amalgamation dance that scares the crap out of island dwellers. Yeah, I agree, Boer. That's what I'm talking about. Why not? It's high past time that we came up with something. I don't really care for the impy dancers. I don't like that. They bring them out in South Africa. It doesn't represent all South Africa. It just represents, for the most part, the Zulu. So, we're not a Zulu nation. PDK just subscribed. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, donkey. Vielen Dank. Yeah, appreciate you subscribing. Yeah, it's, actually a bit of downward trend here. My videos I've been doing now, the last one that did well was the one from the 28th, so it's been almost a week since I had a good one. The rest of them are just barely getting 2,000 or more. Come on, what's going on? Why aren't people watching? But this IOL one has 3,300, so maybe that one will do well. Got a few subscribers off of it, not a lot. Mostly my own viewers watching it. But that one's at 3,300, and hopefully it'll keep going. Yeah, but I'd like to get another big one there. It'd be nice. The Boer Haka, yeah. Can you imagine Eben doing that song? De Here het my mooi gemaakt. No, I can't. Look, are you ready for the Haka? You ready? You ready? Kom! My folk, kom! Die wit kant! Die wit kant! You have to do that hawk in front of the English. The wit cunt. That's right, like Leon Schuster, man. Die wit cunt. Hey, you wit cunt. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Oh well, hey look, you want bikinis, get Snort Cop. He makes those videos, man. Pa-pa-da-pa-pa-pa. Delicious. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's go with Snot Cop's delicious. What's this? Rest in peace, Leon. What? What? Did Leon Schuster die? What? Oh, he's not dead. guys.
Today, you don't mind the...
Anything but spears and traditional weapons. Goose step and Mausers. I don't know about that. Better choreography. Yeah, we do. But seriously, folks.
T-shirt, ik voel my hande vry voor dat sexy lyf, nee sy sit dat play.
Snotkop delicious. Although in that video, that's not the ones you want to see. That's not the ones you want to see. You want to see the ones in the bikinis that Rikus does. Actually, here the one I want to see is what the heck is that song? That's with Bobby and Dirk. So Bobby and Dirk. Yeah, Dis wat ons wil hê. Yeah, this song is awesome. Now, this is one where this could be our haka right here. This could be our haka, man, because this is the one with the chicas. And there aren't bikinis, but there's some shorty shorts, and they're in a barn, so it's got the homage to the farming community. So let me wait till you get up there. Dirk van de Westhuizen and Bobby Jasveld. So come on. I don't need to see these two guys singing. I want to see the chicas up on the stage. Come on. I'm waiting for that. It's playing right now. Come on. They're going to get on stage. Still seeing them. I don't need to see them. Here we go. There you go. Yeah, the chicas up on the stage, man. That's the one. They're up on the tables dancing, and they're shorty shorts. That could be our haka right there, man. There's our haka. Check it out. That's the haka we want right there. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Springbok haka has to be composed by the industrial metal band Battery 9. Plus and lot for y'all a gat. Yeah, Steve did turn 60 over the weekend. I sent him a greeting. A lot of people are turning 60. Kamala Harris is turning 60. Somebody in the room is turning 60 later this year. Not in a hurry to get there. The last of the baby boomers officially right here. And the first of the Gen Xers right here. Nope, that's Western. Real bourgeois. There's at least 10 fat, ugly girls sitting next to dance. We're pissed off. No. I don't need to see that. I need to see those chicas there, man. That's what we need to see. Pull rank on Steve. He's brill with that idea. Okay. 20. Yeah, that's correct, Charles. That's correct. Yeah, no, there's no avoiding it. It's coming. And my little buddy here can't stop it. He can yodel all day, but it ain't going to stop from happening. Oh, my goodness. There's no avoiding it, folks. 3 fat dudes drinking so they can get the courage to take those ladies for a spin. By the way, earlier today, I went into YouTube, and then I recommended for you. It brought up Awe Masakin, the song from 3 years ago, which has 99,000 views. Wow, I hadn't seen that in a long time. We know that Ronaldo puts it on as starts, Awe Masakin. By the way, if you want to help Ronaldo out, if you're inclined to do that, you're welcome to do so. Where the heck's it at here? I got it here somewhere. It's not come on, hang on. Anyway, it's got a few supporters, a few donors now, which is good. I can't find it there. I'm going to have to go back. Where is that? Let me find the link for this, and I'll open up. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so, yeah. So, yeah, it's got a few donors. I'll show you. I'll give you the link for it if you want to do it. It's a very complicated link. Hang on a second here. There we go. Here it is. That's the link. Hopefully it's not too long. Paste. Okay, there you go. If you want to help him out, you can. If you've got the resources, if you don't have the resources, or you don't want to help him, that's your prerogative. No one should do anything they don't have to. But let me just go ahead and bring that up on the screen and show you the Legal Defense Fund. Oh, I already had it up. Silly me. Legal Defense Fund for Ronaldo. So here you go. Legal Defense Fund for Ronaldo. Goes to fight misinformation. He has a goal to raise funds here. And it talks about a media outlet ran a story on Ronaldo regarding a video he made in 2010. They left out critical information and posted a 15-second snippet of a 6-minute video to create a damaging narrative. The snippet completely changed the context of the video and caused the media and social media storm that, as a result, created a narrative that Ronaldo is a racist and unfit to be a public representative. He's currently suspended by his party and might lose his position as a member of parliament. The press ombudsman found the media outlet guilty of breaching the press code 4 times in the article. The more noteworthy breaches that were found guilty of practices that could lead readers to doubt the media's independence and professionalism, as well as photographs and audio content shall not be misrepresented or be manipulated to do so. The media outlet subsequently continued to post negative articles and opinion pieces regarding him and has refused to update their initial article to provide more context. They also adjusted their initial article to reflect the full video after being, being aware of it for months now, and continue to use a showcase a snippet of the video, which equates to 4% of the video, thus leaving out the remaining 96% of the video. Many have called this article a hit piece and planned smear campaign against Ronaldo. I have. The media outlets posting the article led to other media outlet houses picking up the story and running with it. He's been a dedicated public representative for the last 8 years, served his ward in his constituency, province, and country with distinction. He has raised hundreds of thousands of rand for orphanages, has fed thousands of people through his soup kitchens, assisted final year students in paying their debts, graduated and assisted people in rebuilding their homes who lost everything due to fires. It's time to stand up against these outlets who act in bad faith and hold them accountable for false narratives that they drive. The role of independent media is to report news truthfully, fairly, and accurately. As we've seen over the past few years, there's a clear agenda that has been infused into how some media outlets report certain individuals, and thus their neutrality has been brought into question. All funds raised in this fundraiser will go to the legal fees of Ronaldo Khuz against the media outlet to hold them accountable for the libel they have spread about him. Long overdue, they're held accountable. Enough is enough. It's time to push back and show that there are consequences for media outlets that misuse their platforms at the expense of those whose lives they ruin with their misinformation. Yep. And noted here that they had to use an overseas platform because media outlets can't publish articles, so that they can't publish articles to pressure local crowdfunding like they did at Back a Buddy. Yep. So thanks so much for assisting us in this fight. And Alan Coates says Ronaldo earns more than enough to pay his legal fees. Really? He does? Do you have any idea what his legal fees are, Alan? Do you? Do you know what it costs to fight a legal case against a false allegation? I'm asking. Do you know? Again, I am not soliciting funds for him. You are welcome. This is news. It's a news story. You're welcome to use the link to support him. You're welcome to ignore it if you agree with him, if you don't agree with him. But I mean, exactly. It's expensive. Who earns that kind of money other than Elon Musk or Tokyo Sex Wally or Seal Ramaphosa? It is, yeah, Chris. It's a lot of money. Yeah, $250,000 for magistrate court, high court, $500,000. Yep. So, like I said, he doesn't have the money. So, if you guys want to help him, it's great. That fund at the moment has 11 contributors, and it's raised $922. So that would be $17,000 Arctic says he's going to win the defamation case, so cost order will come with the win. Well, the attorneys, unless they're working pro bono or they agree to work off of that, aren't going to take nothing. You've got to produce the cash in the meantime to pay for it. You know, and you don't know when it's going to happen. We see how these court cases get the dockets, get delayed and suspended, and you still got to retain an attorney. Plus, the media is acting irresponsibly, and there's more cases coming. If you think the IOL is the only place he's going to go after, listen, the thing says that any money that goes beyond his goal for these fees will be, what does he say? Let's sit down here. It says, all funds raised beyond the final legal costs will be donated towards a legal team that can assist the next person who's been targeted by mainstream media. Yeah, if he wins the case and there's a monetary funding in his favor, he will match the amount raised during his fundraiser and pay it forward. So there you go. Wow. So, all right, so he can more than afford it. What he has said here, he's made a promise that if he wins a monetary settlement, he'll match that settlement, so basically he gets nothing, and put it in this fund. Now, you can't be more honest and transparent than that. Now, he'd have to do it, but yeah, there you go. Yes, but the big bucks only needs to be paid once the case is ready for the court. And Chris says it's 2 years to get in the court roll. Yep. I agree, CNL. What are you saying there, Cosmic? You're asking if you can share something. What do you want to share? Can I share the info? What info? You mean from that? Yeah, you can share that info with people. You're welcome to. In fact, someone can go there right now if you want and contribute. Anonymous contributed 8 hours ago, and Martin contributed 9 hours ago. Anonymous contributed 9 hours ago. Anonymous 10 hours ago. Anonymous. People are afraid because of what happened with Back of Buddy. So people, you can contribute anonymously here, folks, and it's not a South African site. It's not from South Africa, so you don't have to worry about that. So fundraiser. Let's see where it's based at. Probably U.S. would be my guess. Okay. Fundraiser. Okay. About us. Okay. It doesn't say. It's got a bunch of crap here. Can't figure out where it's from. But I believe it's U.S. And they charge a fee, by the way. They say no fee, but processing fee. So HP Fund here to subscribe. Thank you for that, HP. Oh, I guess I answered Cosmic's question. Okay, you're welcome. He's doing a Shuttleworth. Leave the money in escrow for the next guy to take them on. There you go. Yes. Oh, okay, Arctic. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Well, he'll match the money from the fundraiser. So none of this money is going to him. Okay. All right, there. Well, that's you're quibbling now. Okay. But you're correct. Yeah. So anyway, they say platform fee, nothing. Payment processing fee, 2.9 plus 30 cents. Depends on payment processor. Okay. You only have to pay third-party fees. Yeah, but they ask for a fee. And so, yep. Yeah, okay, not the money gets from defamation. Got it. I misspoke, okay? Let's quit harping on it. It was clear. I already clarified that based on what you said. Anyway, if you all want to do that, that's there. It's your prerogative. You don't have to do it. Anyway, snot cop. Delicious. Oh my goodness. Defamation, probably getting $5 million. Look, well, okay, this could be like the Covington Kids, folks. The Covington Kids case, I mean, they had lawsuits against CNN, against ABC, against New York Times, against Washington Post. I mean, this could be, if Ronaldo wins this thing and that starts a chain of these events, this guy could start competing with Christo to toy for wealth. Lilo, welcome back, Lee. Haven't seen you in a while. No, Arctic. See, now you're being dishonest, man. You're talking about the amounts. The mechanism. I got the mechanism wrong, so I corrected it based on what you said. Yeah, I acknowledge that, but now you're like, it's a big deal because he'll get so much money. Well, he hasn't got any money. Okay, he's got to win. Right now, he's facing a legal case in the Equality Court. He's always mentioning he's Bitcoin. If he has one, then that's over $1 million to start with. Yeah. Do you actually believe he has Bitcoin? I mean, Ronaldo drives Chinese cars. Don't really believe the Bitcoin thing. Harley says Germany has a far-right government with no coalition in place. No, they don't have a far-right government. Germany does not. There were elections in the Länder, the states of Thüringen and Sachsen in the east. Well, what is the East today? What passes for the East of Germany today in the former German Democratic Republic? And in those races, the winner was the Alternative for Germany, and they only have 33% in Thüringen and 31% in second place in Sachsen. They can't exactly form a government with that. So it's 2018 now in the second period. 4 minutes remain. USA over Japan in the gold medal game. So it's close in wheelchair rugby. These games seem like they're always close. So anyway, so yeah. South Africa's not the USA. Defamation is not that lucrative here. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Thank you, Chris. I mean, what happened in Amy's case is I think she got a settlement for like 30,000 rands. The joke, her life was destroyed. Her job was lost. Her income was gone. She had to move to a poorer quality neighborhood. Her safety was put at risk. Her health was damaged. The angst she went through, 30,000 rand. Give me a break. I mean, 30,000 rand. That's less than my freaking plane ticket cost to get to South Africa. It's a joke. No, Havel's not great, Charles. I'm sorry. It's not great. It's Chinese. It's okay. But yeah, but I mean, if Ronaldo had that kind of money, then he wouldn't be driving a Chinese car. I'm just saying. And Chris Ehlers is correct. South Africa is not the United States when it comes to defamation. Defamation against a media house is a whole different ballgame. Well, that's true, Arctic. Not against an individual, against a media house. You're correct. Spikeron says they can't win something so far-fetched. What the hell does internet swear words matter? The condescension is insulting. What are you talking about, man? I have no idea what you're talking about. No, but you have a point, Arctic. Defamation against a media house is probably going to have much larger settlements. You guys are telling me stuff that doesn't make any sense here. I don't even follow the chat. It's not even a conversation. There's no precedent, so it will be limited. No precedent? Is that what you're saying, Chris? Have you ridden in a Havel? Greatest. Yes, I have, Charles. I have ridden it. Yep. I've driven it. I've ridden it. Yep. Yep. Okay. So thank you. Thank you, Chris. I understand what you're saying. The irony is he's loyal to. What's this? The irony is he's loyal to racist. Who is loyal to racist? Who are you talking about, Spike Rowan? John likes the Havel too. You guys can have your Chinese crap. You can have your Chinese crap. I'm not interested. I'll pass. I'll pass on the Chinese crap. Yep, not for me. Sorry. Cannot afford USA cars. No, I'm with you. I can't afford a USA car, man. I'm driving a 9-year-old Chrysler. Lee Lowe just gave a unsolicited super chat. Well, thank you, Lee. It's a super sticker. I can't afford USA cars either, man. It's ridiculous what they cost. They don't even make the car that I have now. I mean, I would like to buy a BMW 520. What's a 5 Series? What do they have now? BMW. Let's see what they've got. BMW USA. BMW USA. Okay, here we go. All right, I saw the story on Premiere in UK. Take on Zuck Facebook. It was seriously intense. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Okay. What's this? Americans cannot afford used cars. No, they can't. It's crazy. The price of them is off the right. Okay, let's see. Build your own car. Okay, there's I don't want electric future. Lead with confidence, power, and prestige. Next level. I want the next level luxury. That's what I want. X5. Let's go with the X7. Okay. Let's see. So there's the super chat from Lee. Yeah, this is the 7. So I'm looking it up now. Okay. All right, you ready for this? The BMW in the USA make every day legendary. The 2025 BMW X7 SUV. Let's see what I can't have here, folks. The core model, the M series, and the Alpina. Okay, well, let's not go low end. Let's go Alpina. $152,000 for a car. Are you high? $152,000, so some 16-year-old who doesn't know how to drive can cut me off at a turn and hit my car and destroy it. $152,000 for this car. 152 times 19. That is 2.8 million rand. I can buy a house in South Africa. 2.8, Arctic. Wow, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. Who can afford that? I can't. That's in white. Let's pick another color. Let's go with this. What color is this? Metallic. That's okay. Not great. Let's try this one here. Dark blue. I don't like that. Let's try this one here. That's a little bit better. Anyway, $152,000. All right. Let's go with Volkswagen, okay? Tiguan. Volkswagen USA, okay? Let's go with the Tiguan. Yeah, cookies. Who cares? Yes, cookies. Okay, SUV, the Tiguan. Oh, actually, they're not that expensive. Really? That can't be right. I can afford that. Wow. The 2024 Tiguan. That's actually small. I thought it was bigger than that. Lower cost than this. 28,000. Turbocharged 2.2 liter engine for an SUV. A 2-liter engine for an SUV. Oh, well, you're going to have to push it up a freaking hill. Okay, let's look back. They got something called an Atlas. That one's at 37,000, okay? Let me click on that. 37,000, 2024 Atlas. It's a lower cost and maintenance than its Toyota, Honda, or Subaru competitors. It also has but it's 269 horsepower. I have 500 horsepower in my SUV. Wow. But that one's $30-some thousand. Okay. Search inventory. Let's see what we got. Put my zip code in here. Let's see what they've got. Come on, let's see the inventory. Okay. Yeah, it's the base price. Okay, now we get to the real cost. This is the Atlas. Okay, so here we go. The 270 horsepower, $52,000. Now that's too expensive. Too expensive. $42,000, still expensive. 47,000, 47,000, 47,000, 47,000, 47,000. So basically they're 42,000 to 52,000, even though they say they're 37,000. So let's go back to the other one that started 28,000 and see what the real price of that one is. What's going on here? There we go. Come on. All right, let me go back to the Tiguan. Okay, here we go. Search inventory. All right, remember it said 28,000. Let's see what it says when it comes up. yeah, that's what I thought. 28 becomes 35,000. It's only 184 horsepower. 31,000. 31,000. That one looks nice. It's black, deep black pearl. Yeah. So what do you get? Do you get view vehicle? Okay. I don't want to go. Just let me. Why do I have to go to the dealer? Just let me see the details about this vehicle. Good Lord. 2.0 liter turbo. Okay. And they charge you $1,500 to deliver. What a crock. What a crock. Anyway. Doesn't look to be all that impressive on the inside. Anyway. But I mean, I have to get something new in order to frickin', take a trip because my cars are getting too old to be driving around trusting them. Anyway, so let me see. I looked at buying a car recently, but I just don't want to pay the price. They want $1,000 a month for the payment. I'm not going to pay $1,000 a month for a car payment. That's insane. Okay, where did it go? I'm missing my rugby. It disappeared. Here it is. All right, it's 23-23 now in the second period. The Japanese have come back, and they have the ball in wheelchair rugby. The gold medal final at the Paris Paralympics. That's a mouthful, the Paris Paralympics. Oh, and Japan is going to score. Oh, no, that's not the score. That's their. Oh, there you go. He got it. Now they lead 24-23. The U.S. goes down the court, and they overthrow, and they don't get it. They screwed up. So Japan is leading now. Americans flip over in the wheelchair. Oops. Head to halftime, and Japan's going to have the lead. Wow. That's not going well for the Americans. They were leading most of the way. Anyway, wow. So, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Looking for a sponsor on your old wheels. Entry level without any extras, maybe less to start. Yeah, but I want extras. Harley says, I see you in a Toyota Land Cruiser. Well, I have a Toyota 4Runner. I love Land Cruiser. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I wonder what a Land Cruiser costs. No, now I'm going to look. That's probably $80,000. ANC Cater Edition is $2.5 million. Okay. Please stay away from those super wanted. Mustang. Ooh. Don't have a car thanks to Safa Redistribution, says Charles. Yep. Chris is out of here looking for a sponsor. Okay. How many black players in the USA basketball team? All of them are black. Oh, you mean the Paralympics? I don't know. The Paralympics. I have no idea the Paralympics. I thought you were talking about the Olympics. The Olympic team, every single player was black. There wasn't a single white American on the U.S. Olympic team. For the men. There was for the women, but not for the men. Not a single one. Not a single one. All righty, folks. It's Memorial Day. I work every day, but today is technically a holiday, a day off for people. So, anyway. Stand in the queue, burns my bum when I watch the Aiden Gardner driving the G-Wagon. Help develop. No comment. Garrett, I have no idea what you're talking about, man. Yes, Harley, Toyota Land Cruiser would be nice. SUV is definitely for me. Sports car, not my cup of tea. sedans are becoming a thing of the past. For me, I prefer to be in a sports car, or in an SUV. SUVs are the answer. I have one. It's the only one I've ever had, and I've had it since 2004. It's 20 years old right now. I think it was August of, or July of August of 2004 when I got that Toyota. I picked it up in Glen Burnie, Maryland, and it was much more expensive than what I paid for it. I made my payments on it for a couple of years, and then in 2008 I left for Botswana, and I still owed $10,000 on it. So I had to drain my savings to pay off the balance, because you can't take a car with a lien, someone else, the bank owns the title, out of the country. So I had to pay it off or sell it, and I didn't want to sell it. So I paid it off, and so it was mine free and clear, shipped it to Botswana, and it took a while to get there. Came in a container. It was just awesome. Yep. Yeah, the Japanese quality is incredible. I've loved it. I've driven lots of Toyotas. They're very reliable. I actually bought a used Toyota with a few 100,000 miles on it in Liberia. Someone got me to buy their car. I was resistant to do it, but then it was very helpful. It turned out to be very useful. So, and actually the one I used to travel all over. It was great. But yeah. So Japanese quality is incredible. Land Cruiser's class served many rebel forces without failing. That it did. That it did. That it does. During the Gulf War, the first one, the one I was in, Japan contributed to the coalition effort, but no troops. No troops, no hospital ships, nothing like that. No jet fighters, no infantry. What they did is their contribution was to give us thousands of SUVs. Which company makes a Pajero? Is it Suzuki? We got lots of Pajeros. We got a bunch of Land Cruisers, and they all wound up being vehicles that went to senior officers. Just had my 2004 X-Trail service, 235,000 on the clock, and still going well. Well, that's awesome. Prefer an SUV, especially with the roads. Yeah. Lee says, to all Chris's team, safe and loved all. Well, thank you for being here, Lee. Thank you for the super chat. So good to see you. Nissans were very reliable. Then some morons started pulling Renault engines in them. Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. Well, that's because Gosen became the CEO of Nissan, the former Frenchman who was wanted. Not really a Frenchman, Arab, whose family moved to France, but he's wanted by the Japanese. They're looking for him. He slipped out of the country. Anyway, all right. Mitsubishi makes a Pajero. That's what it is. Yep. My baby 3 no longer made. Okay. Lavender Ladies Healthcare Placements just subscribed. Thank you for that, Lavender Ladies Healthcare. Appreciate that. Need to look at the new car, probably Japanese or Korean, even though they don't want us to drive there. Drive here. Okay. Qashqai. Lee, actually, I don't like that vehicle, but it's a nice SUV. I've rented those several times. They had them in Europe. And I think actually, I'm trying to remember if they actually had them in South Africa once or twice. I've done it. But yeah, that's a typical one that I get. I'm a frequent renter from Avis, and so they oftentimes upgrade me, and I wind up going up a few classes of car sometimes, not always, but sometimes. And I've been given a Qashqai on several occasions. It's nice. Yep. Yeah, Japanese and Germans make incredible cars. They really do. But yeah, I'd stay away from the Nissans. Also stay away from the Subarus. I'm not a fan of those. Get a new one now. I have no choice. Can't afford Toyota, so looking at Suzuki. Yeah, well, Suzuki, yeah, that's an option. Yep. Better than a Sorento. Kia Sorento. But Kia is not Japanese. Kia is Korean. So is Daewoo. All right, folks, let's wrap it up here. Thanks for being here. I'm considering getting some steamed crabs because it's Labor Day. What do you think? Should I get some steamed crabs? Yeah. All right, God bless. Take care. Thanks. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time, and have a lovely evening. Be safe out there, wherever you find yourselves. By the way, what did you guys think of the new opening? Let me do that. Let me play this again, and let me get your thoughts before I go, okay?
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
So I like the lyrics in that of that music. I don't know if you guys liked it. Just quick, if anyone wants to vote on that, tell me if you didn't like it or you do like it. That's the animation that my viewers paid for. and Joe Emilio put together using public domain music. And then after I used it for a couple years, suddenly there was a claim that it was owned by someone else, and I was getting hit with copyright claims. So I had to stop using it and created my own videos to start it off. But I'm trying to pay it back and respect my viewers who Erica and others put together a group of people to raise the money for that opening. And so what I did is I eliminated the music track that was on there, and through this one, which YouTube claims is copyright free and I can use it public domain, I put that music on. I like the lyrics, so yeah. What do you think? All right, so you don't have to like it. I'm not asking you to like it. If you don't like it, tell me. I mean, I value the feedback. So give people a moment here to vote on it. How are we doing? We got 2 or 3 votes on it, maybe. Got 13 votes, and basically one person doesn't like it. Okay, well that's fine. All right, Lee, you have a good evening, and Smee likes it. Yeah, we got some Confederates funk and Caprice. 15 votes now. Okay, cool. All right, we'll wrap it up here then. Thanks. It was a short poll. I'll do it again, another one. But thank you all so much. End it right there. 15 votes. Most people liked it. All right, have a good one, and take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another, and don't let the scumbags divide you based on artificialities like race. It's not real. It's a social construct. Screw them. By the way, I do want to do something on that book I'm reading, Colored. So maybe I'll do something tonight. I'm not sure, but I'm not in the mood for it right now. Cheers, everybody, and be safe out there.